All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Friday. Happy Friday to everyone out there. October 18th. We got two MLB games to dive into in today's video, two playoff games to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, when we go through each of these games, I'll give you my lean on the side. I'll give you my lean on the total. Talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, if you do want to fade me, keep an eye on the pinned comment of this video. That is where all of my final plays for free will live. In terms of last night, we ended up going 2-2-1. The Yankees Guardians first 5 under 4.5. We had to sweat out Jose Iglesias. I believe it was his first at bat. He hits his single, so we didn't have to sweat that. But then the Dodgers Mets comes down to that bases loaded double play that they had to review, ends up scoring a run. Andy Pajes, I mean, he had so many opportunities, but this ain't an industry of what it coulda, shoulda. That doesn't cash, and then Freddie Freeman does not play. So a 2-2 night. Not gonna kill us. We've still been doing pretty damn well, but hopefully we do a little bit better than that tonight. We are starting it off with the Mets taking on the Dodgers. Before we do that, a couple things. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button as well, and dropping your plays in the comments. We've seen some freaking bangers in the comments, guys, so make sure to drop your plays in the comments. And if you are interested in helping us grow and supporting us, make sure to head over to fademe.store. We have a deal going on right now. Use code SPOOKY because, you know, Halloween stuff. It's going to take 10% off your order. We have the new Gambler Fall 2024 collection. We have the rope hats. I'm rocking the Over is Smacking rope hat right now. I freaking love this thing. What a great hat. One of my favorites that we've produced so far. But tons of products over there. Also, t-shirts are I think it's 20 to 25%. Most t-shirts are already discounted as well, so throw that 10% on top of it. Really good stuff, guys, over there, so make sure to go ahead and check it out. Again, that's fademe.store. The Gambler Fall 2024 collection. This hoodie right here may be the most comfortable thing that we've ever created. It is the Super Comfort hoodie, and there is the new logo for the third drop of the Gambler collection, which has been our bestseller. So go ahead and check all that out, guys. Again, that link is in the description as well as the pinned comment, or just head over to fademe.store. But let's dive into this game here. Mets taking on the Dodgers. Game number 5. This could be a see you later Mets game. On the mound, looks like we're going to have David Peterson going up against the Dodgers' Jack Flaherty. Now, Jack Flaherty hadn't been looking very good, but then, a couple games ago here, he goes 7 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 6 strikeouts against this Mets team. So pretty damn good job there. On the same note, David Peterson really hasn't been struggling all that much. He's looked good, and he's been the primary pitcher when they have an opener and whatnot, so he's not necessarily putting out this crazy output of innings, but he's still been a good pitcher, and honestly, he's just had a decent year compared to some years past, right? So I do think we have some good pitching on the mound today. I think I'm going to run back what we did yesterday and ended up catching an L on the forehead yesterday. First look is going to be a peek at the first 5 under. We were really, really close, and I know, like I said, sports betting isn't about coulda, woulda, shouldas. I hate people that come on here and are like, oh, last night this coulda hit, it shoulda hit. Did you see the situation? No kidding. I mean, it's sports betting. That's why these lines are so accurate. But to me, this is a good spot to look at again here. Under 4.5, you're getting minus 145 over on ESPN. And again, I like the pitching. David Peterson, Jack Flaherty. Flaherty has some really good numbers against this Mets ball club in his career. 93 plate appearances against, and again, this is against the roster, so I shouldn't say Mets ball club, against the guys on the Mets, okay? 25% K rate, an average of 209 against, a WOBA of 273, and a expected slugging here at 461. David Peterson has been pitching well. He doesn't have the best numbers against the guys on the Dodgers, but overall, I do expect him to kind of pitch better than what his career numbers against them would indicate. So first 5 under is where I go here, and I'm really conflicted in terms of the money line play because I knew that the Dodgers, and I've been saying it all along, I keep saying it's kind of square and whatnot, and not rooting for the underdog stinks, but I knew the Dodgers are the better team, as a lot of people did. They have kind of crushed, right? Game number 1, what is it? They win, game number 1 here, they win 9-0. Game number 2, they do lose 7-3, but then game number 3 and 4, they've won 18-2 combined. 8-0, 10-2. So they're the better team. They have the better late inning pitchers. So to me, I do still lean Dodgers, but if there's any game that the Mets are going to win, you're getting them at a good price tag back against the wall. That's like kind of what this team is built for. But to me, it's just not enough to get there. I still think the Dodgers have the better bats, like we've seen, right? And then overall, I guess you could say, like I mentioned, the bullpen arms I do trust. So, and honestly, Jack Flaherty, David Peterson, even though Jack Flaherty was a little inconsistent, he's coming off of a really good start against this team in this series. I kind of like that spot. That was game number 1 or 2, right? But either way, give me the Dodgers on the money line. First 5 under 4.5. And then in terms of a player prop here, let's dive in and take a peek at a couple of these. I like Francisco Alvarez over 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We got burned by him 2 games ago. Then we got burned by Andy P yesterday with the same exact thing. But I like the idea of guys getting on base here and potentially just doing any sort of stat and getting that 1. You know what I mean? 0.5 is really, really nice to me. So I lean in that direction. He had 2 last game. This is the one in which we took him. He had 0. But overall, Jack Flaherty against right-handed batters, batting average goes up. The ERA goes up. The home runs per 9 goes up, the WOBA goes up, so I think this could be a decent spot here for Francisco Alvarez. The other one, Freddie Freeman, under 0.5 walks. Now, he's only walked 1 in the last 10 games. We had this play yesterday. He did not end up playing, so it gets voided. But what I really like here is the fact that, okay, he's going up against a left-handed pitcher, right? His walk rate drops to 9.4 against lefties on the season. Going up against David Peterson, who when he faces left-handed batters, his walk rate drops from 9 to 4.7%. His K to walk rate goes up 3 times. So this is a spot in which David Peterson likes pitching against left-handed batters, at least from a perspective of not letting him walk. Freddie Freeman, reminder, can hit a home run, double, triple, single. I mean, if his ankle's okay. We just do not want him to walk in this case. And he barely strikes out 6.7% against the number 1 pitch of David Peterson here. The fastball, same thing. His K rate drops from 15 to 15 or 15.7 to 15.5. So Freddie Freeman under 0.5 walks is another spot in which we are targeting here. Again, a lot of people are like, oh, fading Freeman and whatnot. We did do his under in runs 2 nights ago. That cashes. We did his under in walks last night, and we heard about it in the comments. He didn't play, but I'm rolling it back today. I like the spot there. So again, leaning towards the under first 5. I guess I lean Dodgers money line, and then I like Alvarez's over 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, as well as Freeman's under 0.5 walks. Keep an eye on the pinned comment to see what we ultimately end up rolling with, if you want to ride with me or if you want to fade me. All right, guys, before we move on to the second game for today, I want to let you know that Underdog Fantasy has a free pick out right now. Aaron Rodgers, 0.5 total yards for the weekend. If you sign up today using the link in the pinned comment or in the description, you're going to get that free square, Aaron Rodgers, 0.5 total yards, as well as new customers getting a up to $1,000 deposit bonus when depositing today. So go check it out. Again, that link is in the description or in the pinned comment, whichever one is easier for you to find. You can also download Underdog and deposit using code GUYBOSTON, GUYBOSTON, if you want to do it that way. But go check it out. Underdog makes the games way more fun and super simple to get your entries in. Just pick 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection. The more you win, the more you get paid out, and you can win up to 1,000 times over on Underdog if you get a bunch of picks correct. It's absolutely crazy. Go check it out. That link, again, is in the pinned comment. All right, jumping into game number 2 of the night here, we get the Guards taking on the Yanks, which is, this should be a good game after what we saw yesterday, right? Looks like we have Gavin Williams listed to start for the Guardians, going up against Luis Gil for the Yankees, and I alluded to it. Last night's game was absolutely electric. It was at 7-5 total, but just back and forth, monster home run when teams needed it. That game kind of embodied what the playoffs have been about. The Dodgers and Mets series, kind of a runaway freight train for most of these games. One team gets up, and then it stays like that, right? But this game yesterday was kind of back to some good baseball. But like I said, Gavin Williams on the mound, going up against Luis Gil. Gavin Williams hasn't been all that tremendous now that we're talking the whole year at home. 1.7 whip. The FIP is at 4. His expected FIP drops to 3.8. That's great, but his average against at 309. I don't know if you necessarily want that when you're going up against this Yankees team. My first play in this one is probably going to be considering the Yankees team total over 3.5. Now, I'm also going to lean towards them winning the game, I guess, the Yankees. This would put them up, 3-1, right? I don't necessarily, games 1 and 2 when we bet Yankees, I loved a lot more. Yesterday we leaned Guardians, we didn't pull the trigger, but today I do see this kind of bouncing back into the Yankees' favor. The way that was so electric last night and the Guardians winning that absolute heart, pumping nail biter type of thing, I do think this kind of returns to where the games were in games 1 and 2, which would be Yankees putting up a decent number and winning the game. 5 runs in game 1, 6 runs in games 2. Even yesterday they scored 5 runs and a loss. So I think the way I play this, first off, is Yankees team total over 3.5. Their offense seems to be fairly consistent here in this series, right? Now, I do still like them to win the game, but if this line moves at all and gets to like that plus 105, plus 110 throughout the day, I start to see a little bit of value in that Guardians line, because I do think, again, this is somewhat of a spot in which the Guardians show that they can compete. They've even competed, I guess you could say, in games 1 and 2, not to the full amount, but it has not been an 8-0 type of a game that we've saw, in this series versus the Dodgers and Mets. So to me, I think it could be competitive. If we get enough plus money, then maybe you could make an argument for the Guardians, but right now, the only thing that I think they have better is, I would say, the bullpen, and overall, to be honest, the Yankees bullpen is fairly good too, so it's like, I mean, yesterday they had a couple bad spots, but overall, it's like, if the one superpower that I believe the Guardians have, the Yankees can compete with, it shows that they're truly the better team. But I understand why someone wants to get the Guardians at plus money today. For me, I'm looking at them. Look at the Yankees on the money line, but I think my favorite play is going to be the Yankees team total over. Now, from a total perspective, I think I'm going to lean towards the over. I think the over is smacking. It's at 8. I wish I could buy it down to 7.5. Maybe we do that depending on odds. Now, I still would rather Yankees team total over, because I think that they have just somewhat more of a trustworthy offense. And even if you just look at the series, right, they've hit the over 3 straight games. The Guardians have only contributed really to their game last game, and that took heroic. So to me, Yankees team total over, then I go to Yankees money line, and then I'd consider the over 8. In terms of a player prop, I'm looking at Brian Rocchio here, over 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I hope we're not late to the party. I know we've leaned it a couple times. I'm yet to make this play myself, but we have leaned it, and I know a few of you guys in the comments have cashed, but he's been crushing it. 8 straight games here, he's crushed it. In this series, he has 8 hits, runs, and RBIs, and his line's still at 0.5. He's going to get a right-handed pitcher. He bats a little bit better against righties. Luis Gil, a lot worse against lefties. And then you look at it from a pitch mix perspective. Fastball, okay, his WOBA and K rate look good. His slider, his WOBA goes up. The changeup gets a little worse, but overall he's only throwing the changeup 25% of the time. Between the fastball and the slider, that's like 75% of his pitches. So I like the idea of Rocchio being able to at least, get a walk, get on base, get a hit, something that can result in one stat here of 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Now, we are yet to hit some of these 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I talked about it when we talked about Pies. We're going right back to Alvarez, who's already burned us. So I think we have an edge with these 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, because it looks so easy to do, right? Just get any stat, and then all of a sudden, you cash it. But we are 0 for 2 in those. So we'll see how that goes, having 2 leans there tonight. But overall, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment 13. We're about to hit the 13-minute mark, and we know that's the luckiest number in the entire world, right? Having a sports betting show, dropping number 13 in the comments just seems like it's a good idea to do. So go ahead and drop 13 in the comments. We got some more NFL content and college football content coming out throughout the weekend. Make sure you guys are checking that out. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go check out the Fade Me store. That 10% code only lasts for another couple days. So go ahead and check it out. Go pick up the over is smacking at. This thing is absolutely legit if you guys need to see it close up. Boom, there you go. But go ahead and check it out, guys. Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.